Hey guys, what's going on? This is Chris with Kingship. Thanks for watching. I hope you're all doing well today. Maybe a little bit better than the weather we're having here. Wherever you are watching, hopefully it's not like it is right now. It is nasty outside. Windy, raining, cold, but that just happens to be Washington weather in April. So I'm kind of used to it. I don't hate it with the rain as it is right now. Probably won't be doing a whole lot of stuff outside, which is kind of unfortunate. I wanted to shoot some more video, upload some more videos to YouTube, kind of be more entertaining for you guys. But we'll see what happens. This might be called Ramblings with Chris. I have this opportunity between home or work and home where I can just chat and talk and have you guys get to know me, get to know who I am, my personality. You know, I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and I think a lot of people, obviously, they have their favorite people they watch on YouTube, and they're inspiring, and you know, depending on what you like to watch, if you like to watch car videos or just videos of like people being creative. What I'm saying is, we get in this little rut of wanting to be like somebody else, and that is not a good thing. And I struggled with that for a long time. Not just recently, but before, you know, I had kids and before I got married, I just, you know, was trying to find who I was, just like any teenager would and does, trying to discover my identity. And I would bounce around from different things of different people that would inspire me, and I would try to be like, and you know, it's not a bad thing to be inspired by people. What takes the wrong turn is when you try to be them. It's not fair. It's not fair to the world because they're not getting represented. They're not getting Chris. They're getting somebody, an imitation of another person. And so I was talking to God about that, and I heard him tell me that if I try to be like somebody else, then who's gonna be Chris? Who's going to represent what Chris has to offer and bring to the world and the environment that we're living in? Because honestly, we all are meant and born to do something, and it's very unique. Like, nobody has ever met a person like Chris. And if I try to be somebody else, we're already like lacking. We're already like, there's already almost too many hands, and there needs to be a foot. You know, we are all part of God's family, or part of the body of Christ if we choose to be in it. But I'm just saying, if that's what we believe, we have to be totally unique, totally different, and we have the capability of doing that. We just have to do it. There are things that, you know, people just wow me because of how good they are in this area. You know, how awesome they are and creative. It's just, they wow me, and I don't have to be that, and that's okay. They're contributing to that area perfectly, like they were born to do it. We, as viewers, have to get inspired and take little attributes that they have, their imagination, their dreaming ability, take that for our own, not to be like them, but to use that passion and drive to push us into our own gifting that we've been given. So that's probably my passion for this channel, is to inspire people to take their own gifting and go and run with it and do something with it. Not saying everybody's gonna have a YouTube channel, but probably the only reason I am going public with what I believe in and who I am is because media touches people every single day, worldwide. I mean, people are able to connect with other people online like that, where it didn't used to be that way, where you had to go and travel to meet with people and get inspired, and people go to conferences and all that stuff, but now you can do that all online. So you have these gifted people that are expressing God's heart in how good they are every single day. And so you're going to get to know Chris, not anybody else. And I hope that's what my goal is. That's what I'm going to be working on. And I just got I get super excited thinking about this, because I am actually I'm raising kids to know who they are and give the world what it's waiting for. We're on top, and we were born to be on top, to be powerful people and influential, and if we're not feeding ourselves with our identity and our purpose here, then we're kind of just stuck in this roller coaster trying to fulfill something that we need. And I have the opportunity to feed my kids in who they are, who they're born to be. And it's not who I want them to be and who I envision them to be. Though I can do that once I'm connected with God's heart for them. The Bible says that we should train our children, raise them in the way that they should go. It's not the way I think they should go. And I need to make sure I'm not trying to control them or just duplicate myself in them. I gotta have this healthy relationship. I have to be able to dig into them, and I get to, and I don't have to, I get to. It's a privilege to be able to sow into a human that's mine. I created that, a human that is going to be so confident in who they are and in their identity. I get to feed into what's natural to them. My oldest child, Finn, he is very, very technical and engineering, builds things, Legos, he's good at that. And I get to feed that in him, that he has this brain that can envision things in his mind and then build it and make it happen. And he's also a great leader because he doesn't really he doesn't really see anything else. If he has a picture, if he has a vision, he's just going to go do it. And I get to see that, and not that that's my natural way of operating myself, but I get to learn how to feed that to where it grows into something that's good, that can be led, that he can lead other people. My second born is so free, and he loves to have fun, and he is so passionate. That's probably one that's more like me, is that he's very passionate, and so that can work for you and against you. And over time, the older I got, I was able to manage that passion and maybe even control it to where it's used for good and it doesn't work against me, because anybody who's ultra passionate can also be affected huge by emotions and the environment around them and their circumstances, and though that can lead to other things. But since I know that about my son, I actually get to sow into him something that's gonna promote his gifting. So I think that's going to be so awesome for YouTube to see, for families to see, where we all can be our own person and go for it and just do it. And I want you guys to see who I am, that I am called by God to see people free to do exactly what they were born to do. And I'm going to own that. I'm going to go for it. No fear. I'm going to trust God that He is leading me in that direction. This is huge. This channel is so much bigger than I am, and I want to constantly inspire people. And I have visions and pictures in my head of what to do next, and trying to get, like being bold enough to do it is going to be so challenging. So if you're getting anything from this channel, or at least from this vlog, it's just setting up where things are going to go, and my heart for family. Family is everything. Family is how God designed it from the very beginning, Adam and Eve, and relationship with God in the garden. It was always meant about relationship with family. That's where we draw our strength from. That's what we enjoy. That's where fulfillment is in relationship with God and our family. And so it's no accident. It's not a coincidence that family is one of the weakest in our country, or even in general. It's like it's just weak because we have no idea what it was meant for. We haven't been able to tap into the true identity of family. And I'm not saying all families are horrible, because my family wasn't horrible. I mean, I've heard some really, really, really unfortunate stories, and they're sad about family. And then I've also heard some really, really good things where parents have been awesome at understanding where they want their children to go next, like loving them and cultivating that trust in their own family. And so I give all props to families that are capable of holding it together when there's everything around us that is trying to pull it apart. Trying to do our own thing, freedom, children, teenagers trying to find who they are and end up pulling away from family in the midst of that. So it's no coincidence that there's an attack on family. But if you think about healthy family, that it is literally the launching point for leaders around the world. If we can harness this pure identity for family, the one that God describes, and God wants to connect with his kids and give you the secrets of heaven for that, then we can change the culture, because we're no longer allowing our children to leave the house without knowing exactly who they are. So I'm telling you, I'm getting super excited because I'm understanding, I'm hearing his heart over this. I'm hearing that this is the launching pad for our future and our kids' future. That we have to understand the attack first. We have to know that it's so important that the enemy doesn't want us to be successful in it. So my kids and my opportunity and privilege I have to sowing into them should be on my mind all the time. And the sad part is, this has been a very self-driven culture for a long, long time. And that stems from lack of identity. If I don't know who I am, then I'm constantly going to be trying things out to see if it fits. I'm going to be going from relationship to relationship to see if that works, if that's fulfilling enough. From hobby to hobby, from job to job, it doesn't matter. If I don't know who I am, I'm emotionally, physically, mentally unstable, because I need to figure out who I am. It's born in us to who am I? Who am I? And so all of this culture is because we want to figure out who we are. Some of us are really, really good at a particular area. It's not hard to look at somebody who is extremely successful in an industry and know that they were obviously gifted in that area. And that, honestly, that represents the goodness of God, because everything that's good around us on this planet is from God. Like, God created everything that's good. What I'm saying is, the priority that I want you to see is that your kids, you have a part in the future of humanity when you're raising kids. If you can love them and sow into them and release their true identity, then they will never leave your house wondering who they are, to have to try out all these other things to figure out if it works or not. Like if they have this like security of love and their identity that God designed, will basically know right and wrong, and they will know what they need and don't need, and what feeds them and what's negative and what's positive. It's going to be natural for them, and we have the ability to train that, you know, with the help of God, and He gives us that ability. And so I'm not trying to be too serious. I'm just talking, and I get passionate about it, and so it ends up being serious. But I like having fun. I mean, that's what it's about. Like, that's what life should be joyful. Life should be so much fun, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that together. We're gonna do that all the time. Finding our joy and keeping it there. Not making this all about me, but revealing our identity and revealing it to my kids. So keep hanging out. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure we keep in touch. And I'll see you guys later.